Hey guys, so I'm going to talk about printing multiple images in Lightroom today. So I made this specifically, of course, for printing multiple images for display, so different than printing our contact sheets. Of course, if you were printing just a single image, you could apply this to it, but I'm more focusing on printing multiple images for display. So hopefully before you've gotten to this point, your photographs have been edited. They're exactly how you want them, since printing is the end purpose. So hopefully, and also that you've decided how you want to lay them out. So how many 5x7s, how many 8x10s, if they're going to be vertical or horizontal, and all of those good things that you've decided before you go to print, because we want to make sure we conserve our resources. So once you have them here, always double check the edits by going into the Develop tab. Make sure that you have them exactly how you want them. And then you're going to go over here to Print. So the way that I found this works best, because the print function in Lightroom is a little bit quirky, I've found. So over here in the template browser, if yours isn't showing, just make sure you tick that little arrow down. Over here, we're going to select this custom 4x6. So I'm going to click that. And on my page here, on my layout, it shows me two 4x6 windows that I can put images in. The problem is we don't actually have 4x6 mats. We have either 5x7 or 8x10. So that's what we want to stick to. So I'm going to come over here in this Add to Package under Cells, and of course, if yours isn't showing, just click this little arrow to tilt it down. And then we're going to click 5x7. So this opened up a new page, which is kind of nice because we can print multiple pages at once in here. So now that I have this one up, I'm actually just going to delete this page by clicking this X. So I have one 5x7 window, and another thing I want to do is make sure I unclick this lock to photo aspect ratio. I'm going to get rid of that, and I want to make sure that this says 5 and 7. If it doesn't, you just click on it, enter the correct number, and click enter. And then, so I actually want two 5x7s on this page. So I'm going to click another one. So now I have two spaces, and I've already decided that I have two landscape images and then 3 images with structures in them. So I'm going to do the 3 structural images as 5x7 and the 2 landscapes as 8x10s. So the way I get my images in here is I just drag it and drop it. So there's one 5x7, 2 5x7s, and now, of course, I need to make another one. And if you look up here, this says 7x5. And the reason that's showing is because in this Show Guides, I have that checked, the dimensions checked. So if you want to have that on yours, just make sure that little box is checked. And now, of course, I need another page. So I'm going to click another 5x7. And I'm going to put my last picture, 5x7 in there. And now I need 2 8x10s. So I'm going to click the 8x10 over here. And when this comes in, you can see that it actually shows up down here as 8x8. So I'm going to change this height to 10. And that makes it the correct size. And when I drag this one in there, drag this one in, and it'll fill that space. And now I need one more 8x10. And of course, it came in wrong again, so I'm going to just kind of fix that up. 10. And now this image, when you look at the thumbnail down here, it's actually a horizontal image, but when I drag it in here, it will rotate it for the best fit, and that is because this box right here is checked. So if I uncheck it, it automatically crops it to there. So you want to make sure that that's checked and your images are coming in correctly. So now I have my layout done. I've got my 3 5x7s, 1, 2, 3, my 2 8x10s, and I'm ready to print. So when we go to print in Lightroom, because it will print all 4 of these pages at one time, so we want to make sure we don't have any mistakes happening. So instead of just clicking print and sending it directly to the printer, we're going to actually use printer, this button right here. But before we go there, we're actually going to make sure of some things down here under the print job tab. So if yours isn't showing, of course, click that little arrow to tilt it down. Our print resolution should always be 300. So I want to change that right away. Print sharpening should be on standard. I want my media type as I'm going to print this to photo paper. So I'm going to leave that at glossy. If you're printing yours on the matte paper, then you want to select matte. But mine's glossy. I don't really want to make any adjustments in brightness and contrast. Maybe you do, as we found our LaserJet printers do tend to print a little bit darker, so maybe we want to brighten up that brightness a little bit. And then we're going to go to printer. Now here, this is going to look a little bit different on yours because I'm at home and I don't have the same options here, but you want to make sure the correct printer is selected. You want to make sure that two-sided is not selected. You want to make sure that your quality and media, you want to make sure that you're printing to photo paper. or whatever paper it is that you are printing to, whether it's matte or glossy or whatever that is. Make sure you set that. Make sure that grayscale is not selected unless you're doing that on purpose. And you just want to double check all these settings. And it may be a good idea to do this before you print all 4 pages at once, maybe print 1-to-1 and just see how your print comes out before you commit to all 4. And then you'll click print and it'll send your job to the printer. So hopefully that helps, and happy printing. I can't wait to see your work.